Hey everybody, this is American soul artist Brian Owens, and you're watching YouKnowIGotSoul.com. Keep moving on.
Alright, Brian, so here at Soul Village at SOBs here in New York City,
Yes.
What's it going to be like to perform here in New York?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's my first time performing at a venue like this in New York City, and the band sounds amazing. They took my tunes and they're really making them come to life, so I'm looking forward to having a really fun musical experience tonight, man, for sure.
So talk about your debut album, Moods and Messages, came out last month. How's it been received so far?
Moods and Messages is actually doing really well. Digital sales are doing really well. Physical sales are doing well. People are responding very positively to the record. I think that it's good to see that people are still hungry for and still looking for good, pure music of any genre. But specifically when it comes to traditional soul, man,
Right.
it's such a blessing to see people leave positive comments and just really show support. So I'm excited about that too.
The thing that strikes me about you is you're a younger guy, but you have musically you're an old soul.
Yeah.
What do you see as the type of audience you're reaching? What's your fan base you've seen so far?
Anybody who likes good music.
Yeah.
Anybody who likes old school music. Anybody who's looking for good music. Anybody who's looking for music that's based in an actual experience and not in glitz and glamour. Anybody who loves lyrics that have substance and albums that have real instruments on it. I mean, I think the audience doesn't have a specific gender or race or age demographic, man. I think it just comes down to the music is real music and it speaks to real people. And if you're one of those people, I think it's just good to have it available for folks.
Cool. Now, your second single, I Just Want to Feel Alright, is out now. Talk about the creation of the song.
I Just Want to Feel Alright actually came from a really kind of low point in my life. And I think I wrote the song, like much of this album, Moods and Messages, out of necessity of the moment. I wasn't looking to write a song. I was looking for an answer to what I was going through at the time. And I wrote out that song, and good Lord, every time I perform it, man, it's just, I don't know, it's such a, there's an epic quality to it, just because of the intensity of the emotions in the tune, and the fact that there is a resolution in the tune, but it's one of those kind of like inwardly realized things.
Right.
So I love the song. I love performing the song. My prayer is that people, when they hear it, that it can help them in the same way that it helped me.
Cool. So now, as an independent artist, what's the biggest challenge in getting heard, getting your music out there for you?
I think the biggest challenge with being an independent artist sometimes can be the resources necessary to compete in a wider market. But I also think that if you have good music and you get it out to people, I think it'll take care of itself, man. I think there are enough people out there, and with the internet, with social media, there's so many different ways for artists to share the music with people. And the truth is, not everybody has to be a millionaire and sell platinum. If you have good music and you just want to share it with people, then you should share it with people, even if you sell 5 copies and you play a coffee shop on the corner. Because if you're really about the music and about music helping people, then that's what it's about at the end of the day. So if you make one song that helps one person, for me, that's kind of the gist of this album. It's like if that album helps one person deal with something, then I can't in any way say it was a failure because it may not achieve commercial success. You always hope for commercial success, but I think for me as an independent artist, that was never my drive and motivation behind doing a record. It was to express and to share with people, and I think all of those positives trumps any negative to being an independent artist. I think being an independent artist is the best thing in the world because of that word right before artist, independent. So you have the control to share your creative vision and share what do you want to share with people, and I think that's really important.
No, I love that outlook and that enthusiasm, and that means the music is pure, and that's the best kind of music in my opinion.
Absolutely, man.
Coming from the armed forces and being in a military band, do you feel like people are drawn to your story and it kind of draws them in, makes it a feel good story?
I think so. I think that anytime you have somebody that has a military background, because not so few people really serve in the military.
Right.
But everybody knows and has a family member. It's kind of weird. Like, so few people do it, but everybody knows somebody who has served, and it's such an honor to be able to wear a uniform. And I got to wear the uniform and do music.
Yeah.
So I think that those two things, along with other parts and aspects of the story, does kind of makes it a compelling story.
Right.
Which is good. Which is good, because anything that can shine a light on my brothers and sisters who wear a uniform and how valuable and important they are.
Definitely, that's for sure. Yeah, I've read quotes from you mentioning your music is a mix of Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, all mixed into one. And, as R&B music has gotten younger, do you feel like people are missing this kind of music and there's like a void for it?
Absolutely. I think that the blueprint artists, the kind of like foundational cornerstone artists, can be easily forgotten as the generations go on and on if the value of what they gave to us isn't passed down. And I think it has to be passed down because it's the root. You're talking about the roots of just about every form of American music stems from these roots of the black church and these roots of jazz and these roots of blues.
Definitely.
And those artists like Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and Marvin Gaye understood that so well. So I think for me, because I have similar upbringing, I have similar pedigree, that's what I gravitate to, and that's my thing.
Yeah.
I've always been like an old school kind of guy, and I don't know, I just gravitate to that. I do think it's important for younger artists, if they want to.
Right.
Because I think there's a place for all kinds of music, but if they want to, I think it's very valuable for them to study artists like Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and Marvin Gaye and Curtis Mayfield, just like we think it's important for young jazz artists to study Louis Armstrong and to study Miles Davis and John Coltrane. I think it's valid as a point to kind of stress that.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree, definitely. So that's all we have for you. Anything you'd like to add?
I just want to thank you guys for all the support you show me and for showing the Moods and Messages, the album, and definitely follow this journey because it's a journey. We're on Twitter at Brian Owens TV. Website is brianowens.tv, and we just want to keep you up to date on what's going on this whole journey, man. We're really excited and glad that you're on board with us.
Cool.